Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to design a simple responsive menu for your website using CSS and a bit of JavaScript. I've done this tutorial and like from scratch, and it took me about an hour. So I've decided to show you the work that I have done instead of creating the tutorial from scratch, because that would be far quicker. So we are going to talk about this. So you have a mobile site and you have a hamburger menu, and you click on that, so you have a menu displayed. And you have also a active component or position in the menu highlighted. Okay, so if you click on other positions in the menu, the position gets highlighted like so. Okay. Also, if you click on the hamburger menu again, you get the color back to its default. So now it's white. If you click on that, it gets grayish or any other color you want. And you have a top section that displays something, probably the logo of your website, and the menu slides down when you click on that clickable menu. And here you have some divisions that show you some text of any kind. Okay, so this is what I'm going to talk to you about. Basically, you have the index HTML5, where you define that you're going to use the responsive capabilities by using the weight device hyphen weight, and the initial scale equals 10. Okay, now here you link the style sheet, which is resided in a special directory called CSS, or you can call it like styles or whatever. And the style sheets file is main CSS. Down below you have the JavaScript file, which resides in a directory, special directory for it, and the file is called main.js. The structure of the HTML is very simple. You have the top section, okay, this. You have this section, which is called the top section. You have some content inside that, like headings 3 and 3 divs. Now you have the clickable burger menu, which is this. It's a paragraph that has an ID called click me, and you have very simple how do you call that, like the lines, but I've rotated them by 90 degrees, so I have them in this form. You can use also glyphicons. There are a lot of glyphicons available in the internet, so you can use an image if you want, a clickable image, or you can use this that I have created myself. After that, you have an unordered list. That is the menu that you want to display, and that menu, that unordered list has an ID called ID, and all list items contain an anchor links inside them, like for example this news, products, options, careers, contact us, etc. Depends on what you want. Okay, so if you see news, products, options, careers, contact us, etc. And then after that I have some content, whatever you want. Okay, and that content is styled using the style blah blah. Okay, now here's what happens. If you click on the burger menu, as I have said, then the color of the burger menu changes to something else, and the menu itself, the unordered list, gets displayed. If you click back, okay, then it disappears. So let's take a look at the CSS first. For the CSS, I have defined globally the margin and padding to be 0, so I don't have to modify them every time inside my subclasses. I have chosen a font family for my body, okay, and I have defined a class for my top section, which is like color of white and background color of something something like bluish, dark bluish. Okay. Now, if you want to define the CSS specifically for a mobile version of your site, then you have to use media queries. Media query of this form tells the browser that consider this style only when the max width is less than 768 pixels and regarding the screen property only. Okay, so if I resize this web page and go outside, so you see now I'm in the desktop version and I don't have any styles here. Okay, so if I go back, okay, so now I've entered the mobile version of my site and it's functional. So this gets activated when the max width of my web page gets smaller than 768 pixels. For this case, I have defined for the menu ID. So if you take a look at the menu here, this is the unordered list. Okay, so for my unordered list, I have defined it to have no bullets, and I have defined the transition here, but it's not functional. You need to use it with JavaScript, but for our purposes, it's not needed. So for the menu, for the unordered list, I have defined a background color, and which is again something bluish. Okay, for the list items, I have defined the display property to be inherited from the owner, from the parent container. I'm going to change the display into block and none, depending on when you click on this burger menu or not. So I'm going to toggle that property. I'm going to show you down below how. For the anchors, I have removed any decorations, so they don't have any decorations, and I have given them some funny color, which is like this orange. Okay, so I have this color, the orange one. Okay, and I have defined them to be a block, so they take the whole area becomes clickable. Okay. And I've given the font size. Now, for the menu, I have defined two classes: menu show and menu hide. The menu show shows the menu when you first click on this button. In that case, the display property becomes block, the height becomes auto, okay, and the transition, well, transition is not working, so anyway. So this is the most important thing. The display is block and the height is auto. If you click that again, this class becomes activated, which is menu hide. The display becomes none and the height becomes 0. If I show you now the JavaScript file, okay, so now I have classical JavaScript, very simple. There is nothing too much of JavaScript here. So when the page gets loaded, it runs a function which finds the element that has the ID menu and gives it the class name menu hide. So when you load your page like this for the first time, the menu is hidden, it's not shown. Okay, now I find the burger menu, which is click me, and when I find it, I add a class called click me before, okay, and I add also an event listener for the clickable event, okay, and the event handler is called toggle style. Okay, that's it. There is nothing to it more than that. So I'm going to show you back the click me before style. So if I go here, for the click me before, I only change the color. Okay, so when you reload this page, you have the default color, which is the white. If you click the menu again, this style gets removed and this style gets added. Click me after. And that changes the color to the gray that you have seen. So if I go to the function toggle style, I see I find the menu element, okay, which is the unordered list. I find it by its ID. I check if it is if it has the menu hide style. If so, I change the style into menu show, and then I toggle the class of click me, which is this burger menu, and give it the click me after, which changes the color into that gray color. Okay. Otherwise, which means otherwise when I don't have the menu hide class, which means I have the menu show class, I remove that and I add the menu hide class. And again, I toggle the burger menu and I give it the click before color, okay, which goes back to its white. So if I click on that, you see, I toggled the menu show, okay, because it had the menu hide class. So I've added the menu show and I've changed the class for the toggle to the gray color, to the click me after, right? Now, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to add the active position for the menu, okay? Which means I'm going to back to the CSS. So I have the menu current class defined, which isn't used, okay? It's defined here only, and it only gives a color to the current position, okay? It changes the color and the background color, and when it's inactive, when the position is inactive, it goes back to its default state, which is this color, this orange color, and it's this dark blue color, okay? So if I go back to main.js, as you can see, I find all the list items by getting elements by tag name, okay? And the tag name is what? Is the li list item. If you take a look at the CSS, the HTML, so we have list items here, okay? And we have only these list items that we are considering, okay? So I'm finding all the list items, okay? This is a list, this is an array that I have to traverse. So I'm traversing this by a for loop, okay? So I'm starting with the first element, which is 0 based, and I'm going through the size of the array, okay? -1, of course. So in this case, I'm assigning to all list items. So list items I means the ith element, the ith list element, and I'm adding an event listener, which is a click for a click event, and for that click event, I'm using the make current handler. Okay, that's it. If I take a look at the make current handler, I have a I again use the list items. I again get them from the DOM, and then I go and traverse the list items and I remove the menu current. So I remove the menu, the current style, and I add the menu inactive, okay, for all the list items, for not for the current one, okay, for all the list items. Okay, I remove the current style and I put instead the inactive style. And for this one that is selected, okay, for the list item that is selected, I add the menu current. And that's it. That's it basically. It's very simple. So as you can see, okay, it works perfectly. And that concludes the tutorial for this time. I hope you have enjoyed that. You can find the code at my GitHub page with the link in the description to this video. So enjoy and See you next time.